It's that time of the year. It is that week we've all been waiting for. Qualifying and racing for the fixed Indy 500 is this week. The agony of defeat, the thrill of victory, all in the same week. And it's a big warm-up race today. Huge strength of field of 54.97. Hello, good evening, and welcome to my hometown. The world's greatest race course, the world's greatest racing city, home to the world's largest sporting event anywhere. We are at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for Week 8, Round 8 of Season 2 of the 2025 IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split, coming to you from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, presented by Topia Systems. Hello again, everybody. I am Gary Gotzo, joined by Justin Petschauer, and joined by someone that just got hot off a victory of doing 100 miles here in the Elite Racing League's Carb Day, is Luis Gonzalez Nunez, your winner of the Freedom 100. Welcome, gentlemen. Good to have you here.
Well, we've waited a year, and now it's here. Welcome to the month of May, guys. Let's go have some fun. What do you say?
Yeah, I have some fun today, but it was really, it was really good. Come back to Indianapolis. I always said, I don't like Indianapolis. It's really difficult stuff. Especially it's a mix of stuff. It's not comparable for nothing. Indianapolis again is gonna be around for 1 month. So this is our study for the week.
All right, well, we're going to get the starting lineup in here, and do you want to wing this one, JP?
Well, let's go have some fun, shall we?
Yeah.
on the pole with a 39.501. I never thought I'd see somebody completely outdo the king here of Indianapolis, Robert Malechka. That is Alexander Russell with Jason Brophy starting next to him on the outside of the front row. Starting third, it'll be Robert Malechka, the king of Indianapolis, as we like to call him. Tanner Richards will start next to him at fourth, and Mr. Clundy himself, Kyle Clundy, will start in fifth position. Lars Chenoweth will start sixth. Seventh will be Guillermo Miguel. Eighth will be Adriano Pinero. Ninth will be Ty Quilla. And rounding out the top 10 will be Josh Ward. Jacob Collins will start 11th. Tony Pizarro, not one of his best qualifying runs that I've seen here from him here. He'll start out 12th. 13th is going to be Daniel Solo. 14th, we were just talking to him a little bit ago before the show started, Matt Hollabon. And from what he's told us, he's just going to try and survive the chaos, which is normal here in Indianapolis. 15th, it'll be Drew Lebsek. I hope I'm saying that right. 16th, it'll be Antonio Estrada, the boss man. 17th, it'll be Austin Green. 18th will be Ty McWhirter, or McRider. I can't even remember. It's been so dang long. 19th, it'll be Dave Mitchell. And rounding out those that put a qualifying time down will be Gabriel Mauricio in 20th position, who unfortunately, guys, he's running a Kyle Larson scheme. So just be ready on that one. 21st, it'll be Jacob Oster. 22nd, I believe it's going to be Hamilton Akabuze, or unless the scoring time.
No, you're right.
Joseph Pisciotta will be rounding up 23rd. ADS will be starting 23rd. He has not put down time. Yeah. Ben McDonald, and then rounding out the field will be Lucas Lodato. That is your 25-car field for today's 50-lap race here.
And the rule set for tonight, fixed setup race, 2.5 mile rectangular oval, 50 laps, 125 race miles. We're basically doing a stint and a half in preparation for the fixed 500 later this week, starting Friday, 9 p.m. top split right here on P1. Don't miss it. 3 sets of tires, 60 mile per hour pit road speed limit. We'll talk about IndyCar history as we get into this race. So don't worry about that. But if you enjoy P1's coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split presented by Topia Systems, and you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts, including this Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here at the Brickyard. Top Split Fixed Official 500. Here we go.
Pace car is about ready to pull off here. This is, and always will be the greatest race course in the world. The best drivers here at Indianapolis. Green flag in the air. Let's go racing for 50 laps at Indianapolis, and already a good start by Alexander Russell as they head off towards turn number 1. Side by side as they go through 1 and 2 here at the south end of the speedway. Will they be able to make a clean lap around here? Because we have known throughout history, both in real life and on iRacing here, lap 1, turn 1.
Oh, we got a missing wing. We got a missing wing. I think that is Lars Chenoweth. Now it's back. He got forgiven. Brophy to the lead.
Brophy will take the lead, but they are still side by side here.
Pinheiro with Bimbo flag. Pinheiro have a Bimbo flag. He's out of the race.
Oh, no.
He hit the wall in turn 2. And that's why we see all the smoking around.
That is not what you want to have happen here, but of course, majority of these guys are.
Hi, we got Jacob Collins and Josh Ward side by side in very close quarters in the south chute, but now they're back single file. But Pinheiro, this is a big one for the field. That is a major player.
Yeah, a number of these guys, like you said, before we went green here, they are using this as essentially a testing ground for the 500 this week for the fixed set, maybe even the open set next week.
Well, Pinheiro will be later this week, Thursday. LG and I will be doing the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace Indy 500. And he's on the pole for that one, so his day is early, and he does not want his day to be early like that here on Thursday. He is very much wanting an Indy 500 win. Back to the battle between Josh Ward and Jacob Collins. Again, side by side through the south end of the racetrack. Now back in single file. Here comes Jacob Collins on the bottom side, and the 3 and 4 on the north end of the racetrack. Going to be side by side again. We'll flash the weather up one more time to show you the conditions. 116 degrees on track temperature. It's probably going to be hotter for the fixed 500. 83 degrees on the ambient. Light wind and fair humidity.
Quote that word, fair humidity.
Fair.
Majority of the time we just take a guess on the humidity.
Well, I live in Indiana, and then 40% it really is during the spring, late spring and summer. That's a really low number.
That's nothing compared to us here in the desert, in the Mojave Desert of Las Vegas.
That's a dry heat.
It's still heat regardless. Doesn't matter if there's humid heat or dry heat. Or as we jokingly call during the dog days of summer here, the blast furnace.
We are watching a battle at the front between Brophy and Alexander Russell. So Alexander Russell, we got to admit, we have not seen him in very many, if at all, of our Top Split broadcasts. But Brophy is a regular. We know him from many other leagues. He is a former champion of the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series. And then his teammate right behind him, although we have a car into the inside wall, that is Lars Chenoweth. And he's in a green car, and I mistakenly identified him as getting into an incident earlier in the race, but he is now missing a front wing as he came off of turn 2. And just slides to the inside wall.
Oh, yeah.
He got out of the group, tank slapped the wall, and broke the right. He pulled a Scott Pruitt from 1995.
Well, other than still having his whole car remaining behind, Scott Pruitt, I think, ripped off his engine.
It ripped out the gearbox, yes.
Yeah. But there is Brophy, the leader. Russell, Again, we're not familiar with him, but he is playing nice right now with Brophy. And someone I totally expect eventually to team up on Russell here is Brophy's teammate, Robert Malechka. He is the undisputed right now king of Indianapolis, winner of the fixed and open main broadcast last season. He's going to look to try to redo and duplicate that effort again this season. But a lot of people have stepped up their game, and one of them is Tanner Richards right behind him. He's trying to keep this group within view, and Clindy also put in a lot of work for these 500s. He's in 5th, Ty Quilla in 6th, Miguel in 7th, Josh Ward 8th, Jacob Collins 9th, and Pizarro up a couple spots to 10th. That's your top 10 here very early on here in Indianapolis. Only 8 laps into this thing coming at the line.
And Brophy is still trying to get a good run here as they go down the front straightaway here. He might be able to get past Alexander Russell here. Looks like he might be able to, and he does. He will clear him as they go through the south end of the speedway here. Ooh, I thought I saw Robert Malechka make a little bit of contact with the outside retaining wall as he came off of turn 1. But now here comes Alexander Russell with another run. I think these two are basically playing the tandem draft, as I call it.
Oh, another the middle flag for Austin Green. I think he hit the wall on turn 1. Enter and gone. Yeah, he hit the wall. Now he coming to the pits.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to get that damage fixed now. A little bit of cloud cover has come over the speedway temporarily. Now it's back out in the sun. So it's going to play with the grip factor in terms of how you can get the car to stick through the corners behind the car, behind the car that's ahead of you here, as we see Alexander Russell still throwing hands with Jason Brophy as they go through the north end of the speedway.
Watching the Austin Green incident in turn 1, just kind of washed up, a little dirty air.
Oh, so much understeer there.
Ty Quilla getting a run on this is Miguel, excuse me, I almost said Vitor. It's Guilherme, but Guilherme Miguel here, and he's in the inside, still battling out. And again, I think the upper line is probably going to come into play here as being the more powerful line as these tires start wearing in, and we're a third of the way through the stint, so the good of these tires is pretty much worn off at this point.
Yeah, it's worn off, but not by much, though. Like I said, with the cloud cover that we have right now, it's going to help the grip factor stay there for now, but once that cloud cover goes away, the grip factor is going to go away, and you're going to have to start easing your corner entry up a little bit more. That way you don't suffer a ton of understeer and tank slap that wall on the outside.
Track temp down to 112.
It's dropping now. It's dropping.
Gabriel Mauricio hit the wall. Oh, and also, he's gonna through the yellow.
Alex Van der Sant
hit the wall. It's not hit the wall. Oh no, he hit the wall. I think so. Kind of. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was trying to get a run on the high side of Mauricio and watch the power slide car make a power slide right in front of the turn 2 suites, and he gets it pointed in the right direction. And it is reminding me, as he does a feat like this is someone, if we get a caution, still capable of winning this race. And we saw 40 years ago the spin and win on that end of the racetrack. So it is possible here at Indianapolis, but not in these sprint-type races.
I hate to interrupt you there, but ADS was actually checking up for Gabriel Mauricio there, because Gabriel actually came off of turn 1 there. And when he tank slapped the wall, he damaged his car enough to where ADS literally was trying to figure out where he was going to be able to go, and he got caught up into basically the clag up against the wall there, and he was
contact!
No,
we got Estrada who was trying, and we takes out another car. I'm not sure who he took out, but Estrada was racing trying to get around Mauricio, who was really not getting out of anyone's way with the meatball flag, and took out multiple cars. I think Austin Green was involved here. Lars Chenoweth, I think, was involved. Sorry. Estrada, Joseph Piscata. Here we go. Watch this.
Dave Mitchell.
And Mitchell. He's involved in the points championship.
Oh man. Mitchell with nowhere to go and one hell of a ride. That car, we got at least a number of cars just destroyed.
Watch from Mitchell's point of view. This is all occurring far down the track from him. I don't know how much time he had, but here he is going into 3. There you see that battle, the green car right ahead as they're in the battle with the each other, and then a damaged car is in there with the meatball flag. And this just happens right in front of him, and I don't think really he had enough time. I mean, he's trying to stay high, and everything just, the gaps close so quickly.
Much like what we said at Bristol in the NIS, even in Indy cars here in Indianapolis, things happen fast, and when they do, you're basically just a passenger along for the ride.
Still a little early to come to pit road to make it done in one stop, so what's going to happen? I don't, no one has stopped so far. I don't know if we managed to get by pit road last time, gathered up behind the pace car. We'll see if anyone makes the turn down pit road. But it's not going to be, well, there goes your leader. Everybody's going down. Does anybody do a pump fake? Nope. Everybody's coming in. So, guys, they're hoping for more caution because even with, let's say we do a full green flag run here, we're still going to be about 6 laps short. So, can we save that much in fuel?
You're going to have to do a lot of saving. You're almost going to have to pull an Alexander Rossi. And guys, I think we've lost our turn 2 camera, our TV2 camera over in turn 3. It's gone. Dave Mitchell took it out.
I think Maleska can do it, but it's because it's in the top 3. I think it's not worth it to do it, but I expected maybe he can try to do it because
if they can do, you got to do 35. You got to do 35 laps, and I think Malechka can do it. I think Brophy can do it. I think Clindy can possibly do it. I think he'll probably be coaching his teammates to try to make it. I think Jacob Oster could do it. I think Hollenball could do it. I'm pretty sure Kabuizi can do it. Now, Hamilton's up 8 spots. And I'm pretty sure Alex Vanessant can do it. Now, the problem is, when you start getting to some of those latter names that I mentioned, they are further down in the order, and you need to at least maintain pace to try to put yourself in a position to get the win. They might be too far back. So is a fine line between hustling it up to the front and saving fuel. And look at all these, look how slow they are to get behind this pace car. This is a good example of everyone maximizing saving fuel. We're going to ride with we're going to ride with Clindy, and just look how light he is on the pedal.
You have to going with Maleska or Brofin. They use the clutch. They use clutch for going on the main straight.
Yeah, Clindy's doing it. Clindy's doing it too, and we'll ride with Malechka. He's on the clutch right now. Now he's back in gear.
No. So I'm gonna be. Let's be realistic. All of these guys, Maleska, Brofin, Oster, Clindy, I said Quila also. They use this for practice. So if they win or don't win or finish on top 10 or top 8 or whatever, it's a good approach for the weekend.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Just I think like what happened last season or last year in May, they used this one for this reason.
Alexander Russell is your leader, and I believe he is sporting a Satellite Racing livery. So that is a well-known IndyCar squad.
Very well known.
Yep, very well known. He is coming to the green flag this time by. And Yeah, I'm going to say maybe Russell might be in play here as well, as we got cars trying to rejoin the tail end of the field before we go green. Green flag here at lap 16. It is a fuel save to the end. Let's see how this pans out.
Fuel save to the end, barring another caution that may or may not come out. But here they come off of turn 2, past the turn 2 VIP suites over there. Single file here, caterpillaring down the straightaway for now. But as we see, Robert Malechka is slowly catching up to Jason Brophy here as the cloud cover has come back once again over the speedway on the north end. Still single file here through at least the top 10 as they come down the straightaway here past the Pagoda and through, as we affectionately dub it, Fan Canyon. Pretty much every single car in the field.
Clindy got a big run. He's going to send it on 2 cars through 1 and 2. He's going to get Miguel, and he was taking a peek to the inside of Tanner Richards. Maybe a bit of a checkup there, but he's back in line. But this is indicative of the fuel save. Everybody's on top of one another. Tanner's not going to wait along. Wow. He's going to go to the front. And here comes Clindy.
Still side by side already. We got a few rows that are too wide, 2 rows deep, 3 rows total now, and that cloud cover is going to start affecting probably the vision of where everybody is on track in front of them here, as we may have at least a 3 wide attempt going into turn number 1.
So there, I'm showing you.
Oh no!
There's Brophy!
Oh no! Oh!
For an over.
And Josh Ward. And Ulster is out.
What happened? And I was getting ready to show you. This is going to make it no longer a fuel save, I don't think. I was getting ready to show you last lap speeds to let you know kind of how much they are really saving on the throttle here. But what happened? It was Miguel to the inside.
Yeah.
He just comes up and side checks Brophy. And then how? Malechka's in that one. And like all the big ones got taken out all at once.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So Malechka, Josh Ward, Brophy, and Ulster. Wow.
I'm counting at least maybe 7 cars involved in that one.
That was really, with the pace they were going, that was kind of a bit of an unforced error, I think. But I don't know. We'll let people make the call on that in chat. But Tanner Richards is now your leader. And the sun is back out big time now. The sun is back out. Look at it really brighten up now in turn 3. Now we got meatballs on Josh Ward, Jacob Oster, Robert Malechka, Brophy, and still on pit road is Joseph Picata and Antonio Estrada with meatballs. But I believe their days are done, unfortunately. We're going to have the field kind of shake itself out here. And we'll reset everything. I would imagine some people a little bit further on back will probably come to pit road and decide they are going to make it on full burn. And one of those right now is, pump fake for Alexander, pump fake for Ty Quilla. But somebody is going to come to pit road. That is answering the call, Ty McWhorter in 13th position. And right behind him, a number of cars that are either damaged or going to share the same strategy with him, including, although there was contact on pit road with Alex Vanessant. And maybe we'll see this coming in as he is trying to get some pits here. He's behind the 25. And I think the 25 maybe slows down. That's Ben McDowell. Oh, McDonald, excuse me. And he slows down.
What was he doing there?
Well, I think he was sliding into a spot, but he didn't fully ghost. And then here comes Alex. Alex is going to get his work done, but he needs to now basically get a 5-second penalty to get a new wing on. And he's back on the racetrack.
if you can, I know it's gonna be difficult to find that, but you have to check Jacob Collins in the incident. He braked with all the cars on front of him, and he saved it in the middle of in the incident. Maybe you, JP, you can do it, but I don't know if he's can do it, Gary. But was very miracle how the brakes works with that speed he did in turn 1.
Maybe I don't know if we can go back and see Jacob Collins here.
He brake from 200 something to maybe less than that because
Okay, here we go. We got him. And hopefully we don't go green here, but we're watching. And just look how tight everyone is. He has a car to his inside. He has a car directly in front of him. Everyone's fuel saving, so he got no place to go. Just, hold your hands, hold steady, and then hear the action. He might not actually see the action occur. Well, from his position here up high, he's going to see part of it, although Oster kind of blocks a little bit, not blocking, more of an obstruction of his view. And look at, oh, wow. Wow, all over the binders, and he could have every intention to get into Malechka there, and he managed to keep it off of Malechka. So good job, you're right.
We always talking about the brakes in IndyCar, how hard is brake with new tire is kind of more easy.
Yep.
But it's still difficult with over 200 something. To going to 100, that's hard.
Gabriel Mauricio, before we go green, is showing the black flag at the moment. He will have to answer that under green. I'm not sure if he didn't come to pit road in time to answer the meatball or what, but here we go. Green flag at lap 23, coming to lap 23. And I don't think it's going to be a fuel save, but there's some people further back that decided for a topping off the tank, and we're going to see how this shootout carries out for the last 25, just over 25 laps. It is Tanner, it is Clindy, it is Russell, Miguel, and Quilla, your top 5 into 1.
Ooh, and I thought we were about to see a little bit of contact with another
Oh,
one.
no. Oh, no. Wow. Oh. You see that? Lucas and Austin Green.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And Lucas is showing damage on his inside wheel there, left front. Let's see what happened. Austin Green, who is a little down in the order, 5 laps, and he comes up and checks Lucas, and then boom, cuts his left front off.
Kind of blocking on Lucas. Like, you don't want to pass over here. So.
You shall not pass?
Thou shall not.
He passed anyway, so.
So a number of cars already with meatballs that need to answer the black flag. And as a top split race, we've had a ton of attrition already. We're down to the top 13 left running on the lead lap and in this race, as everyone else is either out or answering service on pit road. Thanks for joining us. Bit of a rough race, but we're going. If you enjoy P1's coverage of the iRacing IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split, presented by Topia Systems, and respect the stream, please do us a solid. If you're unable to donate to the broadcast or send any super chats, the best thing you can do is support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like to help the algorithm and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. Topia Systems is a presenting sponsor of the Tuesday Night Top Split here on P1. Topia Systems, built right, priced right, game on. To learn more about Topia Systems and their really strong gaming pre-builts, check them out in the description. And if you like what you see here graphically, this is a Topia system. Check them out if you are in need of a new system. Topia certainly delivers. It is Clindy, Richards, Russell racing, but look at a little further back. Here's Hamilton Acabo Easy up now 14 spots to 8th.
Yeah, he's in a bit of a fight here with Jacob Collins as well as Tony Pizarro as they go through turn 2 here and past the turn 2 VIP suites. Hamilton Acabuzzi is trying to... He doesn't know whether he wants to save fuel or if he wants to try and make a charge toward the front. But right now, he's kind of playing it calm. because he knows what's going on with Jacob Collins right there. A little bit of oversteer there going through turn 3.
Ooh.
Hamilton Akabuze had to back out of it now. All safe and clear now as they come off of turn 4.
Kabawizi, we will see him Thursday night, part of the Elite Racing League's Indy 500. Clindy, who is second in this race right now, we will see him in that race as well. You'll also see in that lineup Robert Malechka, who will be starting further in the back. And Adriano Pinero, unfortunately, already out. He is on the pole. Here's a Kabawizi to the inside of Jacob Collins. Jacob Collins going to have the high side. A little bit OP run. They're going to be side by side through the chute. And now Hamilton clears him.
He timed that up perfect going down the back straightaway as they went through turn 3 here. But now Jacob Collins will be under fire from Matt Hollabaugh. Hollabaugh is going to try and find a way to get around Jacob Collins, but now he has to back out of it because there's so much dirty air, not just from Jacob Collins, but also from the other cars that are ahead of him as they come off of turn 2.
And Hollabaugh, we did not bring him up for the previous caution, so we will bring him up next time. We were kind of doing a little bit of a incident analysis.
A thorough incident analysis.
Yeah. But the way that they're going to be racing here towards the end, I would not be surprised to see another caution. And in front of the leaders, there is Mauricio popping out after getting repairs done. And that is dirty air for the leaders. They do not want to see that. They want to get by him quickly. Does Mauricio play good, or does Mauricio try to race forward up front? Etiquette says he should probably let everyone by, but you never know until you reach that driver.
Been there, done that before. Not fun.
Nah.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Tony Pizarro and Ty Quiller are throwing hands at each other as they go through turn 3 here in the north end of the speedway. Hamilton Akabuze is going, come on, guys. Just keep throwing hands at each other so I can get by you.
Hold your line. Here comes Clindy. He's going to try to give a little bit of the draft to Tanner. Tanner tucks back in line. Clindy clears him in 1. And this is good for Clindy as it gives him a chance to kind of break away. He's already broken away by 5/10. And if Tanner doesn't close the gap, these next couple of turns, he might be able to pull away a little bit more, but Mauricio able to close the gap by using Clindy's draft into 3.
Back to the battle here for 6 as we see Hamilton Akabuze just going all over, trying to find clean air to get by Tony Pizarro.
Super high.
Not working for him. It's not working for him. Here comes Jacob Collins now down the straightaway towards turn number 1, side by side with Hamilton Akabuze as they go through turn 1, still side by side.
Oh, dirty air. He slides up, has the roll out of it. They're still side by side. Here comes Matt. Tanner caught back up to Clindy, got the position again. Clindy now swap drafting again back into 3. Alexander Russell sitting pretty in 3rd. Miguel in 4th. Ty Quilla in 5th. They're trying to get around slower traffic at the moment.
Yeah, they got that Larson scheme that they're all trying to get by here as they go through the south end of the speedway.
We got two Larson liveries out there.
Oh, for crying out loud!
I think Drew is in. Is it Drew or Daniel Solo? No, I think it's Drew Lebsack. I think he's in a Larson livery too. Again, guys, we can get you guys a proper IndyCar livery. I know the Larson livery is a proper IndyCar livery, but it's a one-off livery.
So was the Menard scheme. Well,
when they were in the Indy Racing League, they were a full-time competitor.
Well, it's not about more so with car.
That's all John Menard could afford. We know Hendrick could afford more to do an Indy only program if he wanted to.
Yeah, but with the way the charter system is now, with that new
3 wide down the backstretch with 2 Larson cars, and I think we got Ty McWhorter to the inside, and he passes. That's a Ty McWhorter right there. in the Mobile One livery. That's a one-off livery too, but that's a pretty good looking one. That's what Rahal drove in an earlier race this season. That's looking pretty good. He manages to get by all that mess, and he's now all by himself.
The Tues just going, thank God.
I got a couple ties in this race.
Because we all know the running joke is know your weapons on track in IndyCar. A Red Bull scheme and a Kyle Larson scheme.
Those are your weapons. Glindy going back to the lead here in 3 between him and Tanner Richards, 2 racers that know each other very well.
And I'm over here still laughing my ass off. Because in each series on iRacing, there's that one paint scheme that's the most popular one that turns out to be the weapon of the series. There was at least 3 that we had for the NASCAR iRacing series that I can remember, but I can't remember the paint schemes they were because they were one-offs in a number of seasons.
Glindy going to be starting 15th in the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace Indy 500 this Thursday, 7:15 over on that's 7:15 p.m. Eastern time over on the Elite Racing Network channel. LGN and I will be bringing you the action for that one with all the pomp and circumstance that you would expect from race day in Indianapolis for real. We'll try to duplicate here on a virtual sense, but Glindy starting 15th. He's hoping for a good race. Hamilton Akabawizi, he's going to be in the starting lineup. He is 28th, starting from the rear. Robert Malechko will be 30th.
And speaking of Hamilton, he is still trying to get a run on Tony Pizarro now as they come out of the north end of the speedway and down towards the start-finish line. It looks like he's just decided to hang back here and probably save a little bit of fuel before possibly making a charge with about maybe 10, 5 to go.
It's almost that time. He's got to make a decision if it's go time. It's 37, lap 37 now. So you're going to run out of time. You can't really storm up through the field as fast as you would like to on used tires. Everyone is close together. We are 14 to go. It is go time. Can they make it on fuel? They should with that extra caution, but Glindy's 22 laps into his stint. Tanner Richards also 22. Ty McWhorter, though, is only 16 laps into his stint. Ty doesn't need to save any fuel.
Well, he could probably save just a tiny bit of fuel, but he could still go full rich.
Well, if he's 17 in and he goes 13, that's right at 30. I mean, that is right in your window.
I think I just saw Jacob Collins barely tap the outside wall coming off of 2.
See if he has any possible...
Nope, it was just an optical illusion.
Okay.
Let's just say he liked to live dangerously. I mean, he was on the razor's edge. I'm looking at one of the cameras right now.
Hey, yo.
Oh.
Nice pass on Hamilton over to Pizarro. Nice.
Yep.
Go back and watch that. As Hamilton really set it up, and Hamilton says, you know what, if you want the low side, and everyone's going to be on the low side, there's clean air up top. I'm going to get a full run and head of steam up the high side. Look at him. Late apex, late turn in, and big run on the high side. Pizarro had no choice but to let him go in the short chute because he's got a big run ahead of steam going into 3, being into 2, being on the inside. It's not going to be a preferred position there for Pizarro, and he kind of lets him go.
Yeah, usually when you see a guy with that big of a run that has a stable car going up on the outside, you might as well just say, yeah, just go by.
Just take it. We missed Alexander Russell going to the lead as he moved by all 3 of these guys to assume the lead for a little bit, but Glindy takes it back going into 3. So now we have a new 2-car battle. It used to be Glindy and Richards. Now it's Russell and Clindy. I think Russell has been saving his tires back there, and now we're at 10 to go. I said it's go time, and Russell says, yep, it's go time.
Still side by side as they go through the south end of the speedway here. Clindy is trying to find a way to clear him. Right now he does, but the run will still be there for Alexander Russell, and a block by Kyle Cunworth as they go down the back straightaway. Still side by side. I think Russell's going to be able to get it and clear him as they go through turn 3 in the north end of the speedway.
Riding with Richards. He's down to 4th gear at the moment, trying to keep those revs high. Now he's up in the 5th gear off the corner exit, trying to keep a bit of a run, but he's kind of losing touch to these top 2 as the tires are starting to run out, as we are now 9 to go here in Indianapolis.
And here comes Hamilton Acapuzzi as he goes past Ty Quilla for 5th place. Those two were throwing hands for about half a lap there. But now Hamilton Acapuzzi is going to try and stay with Gary Miguel there as they go towards turn number 3. But look at this. Here comes Ty Quilla saying, hey, you're not out of the woods yet here.
We've heard it so many times. You watch those old Indy 500 broadcasts on YouTube. We get to about 10 laps to go. Paul Page always talks about the number of times the car leading with 10 laps to go that doesn't win the Indy 500. Well, will we see that today as Alexander and Clindy fighting it out for the lead here? Now 8 to go. Will one of these two get the win here at Indianapolis and start a great week leading into the fixed Indy 500 this weekend?
I thought we were about to see another caution come out as Jacob Collins and Tony Bizzarro were side by side almost half a lap, almost an entire lap ago here. Going through turn 1, they were throwing hands, and Collins was just like, no, I'm just going to play it safe, back it out, and maybe try and mount another charge.
The snake is going down the front stretch as Russell's starting to inch away a little bit from Clindy. And again, LJN, what do you think? Was Russell back there maybe saving his tires a little bit while Clindy and Tanner were fighting it out?
I don't know. It's like I think so. Russell have a almost, but you know, Clindy maybe they have a something to the end. I see Russell is kind of little bit loose in behind of the Clindy on the turn 4. Everyone is loose in turn 4. But I think so with all of this waving is kind of the tire is getting a little bit, not really hot, but could be make it a little bit hot in there. So let's see. I think Clindy still have the opportunity. You know, I prefer to make the attack in the 2 laps to go. No, now, because always they have a chance to at least to defend it on the last lap.
If you make that move now, to quote
ahead.
Maverick from Top Gun Maverick, too late. You had your chance.
Yeah, that's possible. They're still doing the snake down the stretches. And it's really now Richards is back a second from the leader. Clindy 4/10 back. He's trying to inch forward here down the straightaway. He gets within 3/10 going into 1. He's going on the high line, trying to get that clean air into the chute.
Ooh, what do we got?
Oh, Russell, I think,
Clindy
blinked out.
Clindy hit the wall and turn 2.
Just a kiss.
Caboeasy getting the pass on Miguel to the inside. Miguel not going to give him any inches, and he slams the door in the short chute. Now Hamilton has the reset coming down the main straight as we're coming to 4 to go. A qualification run, 10 laps here to decide the top split here on Tuesday night on Indy Week on iRacing.
10 laps. I thought it was 10 miles, 4 laps.
10 miles, 4 laps to go. I know what I'm trying to say. Just listen. Here we go. Bound the back stretch.
We're getting so excited that we're stumbling over our own words.
Yeah, I want to be the first time.
True.
And it looked like strong. Looked like strong with 3/10 on the back. But the problem is Alex is making this waving. And yeah, now it's getting close. So Clendy is getting strong. Now it's hammer time for him. He must to do it now.
3 to go. And again, we've seen a number of times. For instance, the 2006 Indy 500's 3 leaders in the last 3 laps back in 2006. It's happened before here in track history for real. Will we see a pass here in the closing stages? It is Russell with Satellite Racing, Clendy with Rogue Racing, Tanner Richards, the Independent, Miguel, the Independent, Akabo Weezy back there with Fiercely Forward.
Now is a chance.
He's got to set him up. He's got to set him up to try and make that run coming off of turn 4, at least on the last lap coming to the checkered.
It looks like the weaving is being effective right now. Normally it's not very effective, but it seems to be working to Russell's advantage.
It's working, but not by much as they go to the north end of the speedway here, coming to the white flag.
Too high.
I
think in turn 1 and 2 is when Clendy lose the stuff.
Yeah, I don't think Clendy has it in the tires. This race right now is in Alexander's hands to lose, as they are getting right up to the wall there on exit. They are not giving. They're not leaving anything on the racetrack. That's what I'm trying to say. But again, Russell now 5/10 down the backstretch, and I don't think Clendy has it left in the tires. Russell's going to show up here on the top split here on Tuesday night. He's going to start from the pole. He's going to win this race, but we're not going to see him, I don't know, much later this season. But Clendy, the key thing for him here is he is going to get the points he needs in order to help extend his lead for his championship hopes in the Oval Series. Tanner Richards comes home 3rd.
So Clendy almost went to the wall in turn 2 in the last lap. So I think so that was the point when he decided you can win the race. Okay.
Yep. And we'll give you a real quick look at the points coming into this race, and then we'll get into the final results. But here you go. This is what we had coming into the race. Clendy, your leader, Quilla 2nd, Mitchell 3rd, Jacob Collins 4th. And the thing here is Mitchell in this big strength of field race finishing 25th, so that might open the door for Collins to creep into 3rd and make it a 3-way podium here, at least at this point in the season, for the Rogue Racing squad. But Clendy, Quilla, Mitchell, your top 3 coming into this race. But a number of drivers in that top 10 having problems, with the exception of Tanner Richards. And here you go, Alexander Russell with the win. And welcome to the top split. Kyle Klindworth 2nd, Tanner Richards 3rd. Miguel, well, he came home 4th, but he thinks that a lot of people are not going to be happy with Miguel. We'll see what the community thinks of that little contact that caused that big wreck in the turn 1. Akabo Easy, I told you to watch this guy, and I expect probably to see more of the same in the fixed 500, or excuse me, in the ERL Indy 500 this Thursday, where he's going to be finished starting deep in the field. He's up 17 spots, and that's 17 spots in 50 laps. So what can he do over 200? Well, tune in on the Elite Racing League on their Elite Racing Network on Thursday and find out. Ty Quilla 6th, Pizarro 7th, Collins 8th, Hallball 9th, and Daniel Solo, welcome to the top split. He comes home in 10th. McWhirter 11th, Lebsack in 12th, Alex Van de Sand 13th, Mauricio 14th, Josh Ward 15th, then McDonald, Green, Chenoweth, Malechka, Lodato. That is your top 20. Jacob Oster, Brophy, Pescata, Estrada, Mitchell, and Panero. Pinero definitely does not want to repeat this finish here in a couple nights. We'll watch him again as he starts from the pole in the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace Indy 500 this Thursday. Pinero comes home 26th. All right, let's get some replays queued up here and get into the interview room. And we will want to talk to Tanner Richards here momentarily. Get his plan for later in the week and kind of what his strategy might be.
So before you pull it up, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Hamilton Kabwesi, 70th spot, the driver of the day. The race was in 40 minutes actually. Pretty kind of little bit long, but like what we expected, but good race.
All right. And let's check out Tanner Richards here momentarily. Get his thoughts on this race. He should be in chat. There he is, T. Rich. Where he is. We'll bring him up now. T. Rich joining us here in the post-race interview. Tanner Richards finishing third. Another podium finish for you, sir. This is a great way. I guess the only better way to start this week going into the fixed 500s would be to get the win here for this one. But kind of a crazy race up front. And a lot of the key players kind of got removed pretty early and turned into a bit of a strategy race for a little bit. And then really, I think the fuel save got thrown out the window and a chance to really race for it. But did you and Clindy use up your tires there maybe? Is that kind of what possibly happened at the end?
Maybe we did a little bit. Me and Clendy were trading the lead over and over, and we were in map 5 the whole time, like saving gas. And I was like really close to running out of. I don't know if I did a bad job or not, but I was really close to running out of gas. So I was like saving, and finally the Alexander just he took off before we did because he saved a ton of fuel. And it was game over past that point because I felt like once we got back in traffic, like I couldn't pass or make up any ground, and Clendy couldn't either, and it was kind of like checkmate at that point. But yeah, it almost would have been better to be third, I think, like for that whole run rather than be in the lead. But
well, it is Indianapolis, and it's hard not to lead here, if especially when you get a chance. But did you learn anything in this race and the number? And I'm sure you're going to race a number of these Oval Series races this week. But did you learn anything in this race that possibly you could use this weekend for one of the fixed 500s?
I learned a bit. I learned that it's hard to pass, and I learned that like track position is everything. And I don't know. I learned quite a bit, but the 500 is going to be a whole different animal, and it's it's such a long race that it's not really it's a lot different than this, and I have to even make it in on time anyway, so we'll see if I can even do it. But
well, I'm sure you will, but we know you got some pace. I'm sure you will. I don't know if you'll be top split, second split, but we know you're going to make one of the races for sure. But and we know you're going to do pretty well in it because that's kind of just your MO. You do real well in these type of things. So we'll be looking forward to seeing how well you do. But any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go here?
Just shout out to Clendy for working well with me, and we almost had it, but we'll get him next time. So it was a great race, and have a good night, everybody.
All right, Tanner, congrats, and best of luck in your qualifying and whatever fixed Indy 500 split you end up in, and maybe we'll see you on that Friday broadcast.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
All right, and let's bring in Clindy now and get his. I think it's going to be more of the same here from Clindy. Here is Clindy. The good news is I think you extended your points lead in this championship. The bad news is I know you really wanted to get the win here. Did we just run out of tires before Alexander we could really run down Alexander? Alexander was back there saving on him.
No, it wasn't tires, it was gas. I had to run map 2 or map 3 all the way till 3 to go or 2 to go, and by that point, I had one good run on him, and then he kind of learned my tendencies and
Uh-huh.
put his car exactly where it needed to be, and I didn't have any time to change it up or try something different. So, um, I knew I needed a good result today, especially with the misfortune of some of my championship competitors, and I was very satisfied to come home P2, so I didn't want to risk doing a JR Hildebrand move or making an idiot out of myself. So I was just like, hey, I will take second. I will take the points. Um, there are bigger fish to fry than this Indy fixed race. Everyone wants to win at Indianapolis, of course, but I've got 500-mile races coming up later this week. I would love to win one of those, way more than this. And I would love to win the championship way more than I would have loved to win this race. And I don't want to dot any I's or cross any T's prematurely, but this will replace my worst week by almost triple the points. So it will be very, very difficult for Adriano or Tanner to catch me because I beat him today. But even by one spot, those it'll probably be 17 to 20 points between me and Tanner from the payday in this race. But those points matter, right? Like those are points he did not gain on me. And even though I had the pace to win, had the strategy to win, I hit the go button at the right time. We just got jumped perfectly. Alexander just absolutely timed that just right. And I either block him and look like the world's biggest Joseph Newgarden, or I race him clean, and come home second. So I'm happy to come home second. And Alex has helped us in our alliance testing. So it's really, really good to see him get a good result here. And he was, even though he's a NASCAR guy now, he started on the Indy cars. And so it was nice to meet him on track for the first time today and meet him in the waiting room.
Fast fact before I get to my follow-up question for you. Helio Castroneves, 4 Indy 500 wins, not a single IndyCar championship to his name. Hard to believe that. So he never says that he would trade in those Indy 500 wins, but there are people out there that have won the Indy 500 and have never won the IndyCar championship. I know you want that championship pretty badly after finishing on the podium and second place a number of times. So does today, before I get to my follow-up question, does today kind of feel like a win a little bit?
Oh, huge win. I'm ecstatic to be second. You wish to win, you want to win, but like I said, way bigger fish to fry. This championship means way more to me than this one race. Thursday night's 500 has a $5,000 prize. You bet your butt I'm going to block for that one. And then, the Indy 500s, the broadcast ones, especially I believe it's the two on Saturday, are being broadcast, one by P1 and one by...
We're doing the Friday night 9 p.m. one. We're doing the Friday night 9 p.m. one, and then the iRacing official one will be on Saturday.
Yep. So, right now I'm sitting 33rd, I think. So I'd love to increase my time by a couple hundredths and get, maybe 18th or 19th on the board, just to really be sure I'll be in top split on those broadcast races. Those are for bragging rights. Maybe a sponsor will see me. Maybe Roger Penske will see me. Who knows? I know Rob, built a power team around his success at Indianapolis. So maybe Rogue Racing's next.
The Penske esports team. You never know. Well, kind of my follow-up, and I asked Tanner this too. Anything that you learned here that you can apply toward the fixed 500 or even the Warriors for Peace Indy 500 coming up on Thursday? Tanner says it was a stint and a half and really not enough time to kind of learn things. But did you learn anything?
I'm very comfortable with the tools I have for traffic and the line for traffic. I feel like I can pass cars, and I know where and how to pass cars. I feel like some people don't. That's pretty apparent in my mirror. I kind of saw people get stalled out and not be able to get back around. Like Guillermo beat me in the pits, and I beat him, jumped him on the restart. And then when everybody was just trying to juke for fuel economy, I was like, well, we might get a yellow, and if we don't, I can save harder at the end, but I want to be top 3 right now. And I went, and it paid off because it got me ahead of the carnage. So yeah. I got my spider sense working. I got my moves in traffic working. I'm ready to be Spider-Man, climb the fence later this week. I'll take P2, and a few notes, but that's all I got, I guess. Second place is more than enough for me tonight. And we'll look, like I said, to fry bigger fish later this week.
Well, shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone you want to say hi to before we let you go. It's a long week, and I know you got some more qualifying to do.
Yeah, we missed the next slot, so I kind of have some time, but I don't want to keep Alex here all night. But shout outs to the Votive Racing League, to Sugarman Farms, and to Topia Systems, all of which help Rogue Racing succeed every single week, and all my Rogue Racing teammates. Topia Systems is also the presenting sponsor of Tuesday night fixed oval races, so can't thank them enough for coming on board for that on P1 Broadcasting, where you can catch almost all of my races and all of my action all week long, and my fixed oval guides to help you be better at tracks like Indianapolis. My guide for Indianapolis is from season 1, and the setup's a little different. It's so different. In fact, I am going to release an updated guide later this week. With Indy 500 and being at Texas Motor Speedway this past weekend, it just was very difficult for me to get that done on time. So it'll be a little delayed, but hopefully people find it useful. And this setup should stay for a long time. It's incredible. It is so much better than what we had before. And then shout outs to all my friends and family all across the world, wherever they may be.
All right, Clindy, best of luck for the remainder of this week. Congratulations on the P2. The championship hunt continues. We're getting closer, and we get closer and closer to the end of the season. Maybe we get that first championship. So we will see you next week when we head to Iowa, a track we know you're good at.
Yep, I'm so excited for this last few stretch of races. Iowa, Auto Club, Kansas are some of my best tracks, and so I'll just look to replace some of my already really big points. I mean, every week but Gateway, I have podiumed the strength of field race, so I'm really thinking I'm not necessarily bulletproof, but it would take a miraculous run from one of my competitors to beat me, and I'm going to be there performing miracles on my best track throughout the Midwest and in Southern California, so good luck to them.
All right, Clindy, we'll catch you later, man. Good luck on quals.
Bye, Gary.
Bye.
Thanks, y'all.
Clindy's feeling pretty good about that championship. We got a couple weeks to go, but he's feeling pretty good, guys.
Yeah, I think he's going to get it. I honestly think he's going to get it.
I hope he does. He's definitely and Elgin and I both like wrestling, and Cody Rhodes is, of course, the former WWE champion. And one of the things he used to like to say is, you got to put in the work. And I think for sure Clindy has put in the work. Let's bring up Alexander Russell into the booth. Here is Alexander. Alex, welcome. First time on the Top Split broadcast, and you get a win at a big strength of field race here at Indianapolis. Congratulations. And it really looked like kind of you were just back there waiting, and about 10 to go. You saved your tires enough and says, time to go. Let's go win a race.
There's nothing like Indianapolis. There's nothing like it. It's my favorite track on the game. And I qualified up front and said, okay, there's a chance to do some things this race. Caution came out, and I was a little disappointed because that was a really great position to be in with Brophy and Malechka. Then it became a fuel race. I wasn't good after that first pit stop, and tried to drop back in line, and caution came out. A lot of the good guys got collected. Feel bad for them. Then after the caution, it was just about, okay, how much fuel can I save? When can I go?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just trying to keep my nose clean, get clean air, save the tire, save the fuel. And I saw on one of my numbers, qualifying fuel per lap, I was good to make it to the end. I just kicked it all into full rich and just went. I said, this is the lap to go. We have to go now. Because if it gets hot, it's going to be really hard to pass.
Mm-hmm. With the run there at the end, how much fuel did you end up finishing with? And really, was it just an effort of really saving those tires and watching Clindy and Tanner kind of run their tires out a little bit while you were back there, maybe lifting just a little bit and conserving just a little bit on fuel, being a little bit easier on those tires? Was it a game of the tires being better at the end?
I think it was a little bit of both. Since I was backing off into the corners, I was using less tire. And that had maybe half a lap of fuel once I crossed the line. So it was just a match of getting the tire in the right window and then making sure my fuel could make it. Because that was the biggest thing in my head. If I run out of fuel going into turn one, it's gonna feel pretty embarrassing to know that I was up front and had a chance to win.
Well, at least you didn't run out of fuel like coming to the white flag like Robbie Gordon did.
Oh, no.
Don't remind me. That was a little bit on my mind.
Question I asked Tanner, question I asked Clindy, and it was a short race. I mean, basically, this is a 50-lap sprint. It's a stint and a half that you would normally do here when you're going to do one of the fixed 500s this weekend. First of all, are you going to run in one of the fixed 500s this weekend? And did you learn anything that you can apply to the fixed 500s this weekend?
Planning at least running one. The big one is the open race. That's what's on my mind. But I want to get some of the fixed running in just to understand the car, really get back into the swing of this is how the track's going to race this year. And I think I learned a little bit about getting fuel mileage, getting tire like to last, and then I kind of wish I would have got more running in dirty air just to really understand what the adjustments on the bar and the jacker need to be.
Well, you should have asked Clindy. I'm sure he would have been more than happy to let you run in his dirty air.
I feel like he would have, but having the nose clean in the last few laps was very, very inviting.
I'm sure you like that. Well, normally the deal is here, if you get the win, you get the podium, you get to make some shout-outs. I know you got you're a member of Satellite Racing Team, a team that we like a whole bunch. Any friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to on behalf of Satellite Racing and yourself?
Yeah, for Satellite Racing, of course, they're a great group of guys to work with. Ellis Engineering, amazing partner, especially because he's going real life racing now. It's kind of cool to see you guys in the broadcast booth. Nexus Esports for some of the other NASCAR stuff that I do. And anybody's watching, because it's the people who watch the broadcast that make this so fun and so entertaining.
Well, thanks for being here. Good to have you participate with us. Hopefully we see you again at some time here in the IndyCar, not just Indy 500 week. And congrats on the win, man. It was a lot of these races at at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, at the IndyCar comes down to a few tenths of a second, and your margin of victory might as well have been a one-lap lead, because it really wasn't even close there at the end. So we should probably see more of you in this car sometime in the future. So congratulations.
I'll say that this is not going to be the last time I'm in the car, especially after the month of May. I'm having too much fun. It reminds me how much I love it.
We hope to see you more. Congrats and best of luck with your continued week with the 500s coming up.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, that is it for us. Next time we race Indianapolis here on P1, it's the big one. Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, top split fixed Indy 500. But we did 50 laps tonight, and we saw a winner that we haven't seen here on the top splits. But our chief point leader and the points rivals, Clindy there, extends his lead over Tanner, kind of a little bit more over Ty, and a little bit more over some of the other players that are in the top five there, especially Mitchell, who had a really bad day finishing 25th.
Yeah, Mitchell is definitely going to want to throw this result into the incinerator.
Right.
As he had one hell of a ride, let's just say that. A good points paying day for some of the other guys. Robert Malechka is probably going, Can I get a time machine and just go back and redo this? That way I don't have that better of a result. But yeah, busy month all around for P1 here. We had this tonight. We got the IIS on Friday afternoon, and then Friday night it's the fixed set Indy 500, and then next week it's the open set Indy 500.
Oh yeah.
And then we go back to Indianapolis again on the Oval for the 500K. So busy month all around here at Indianapolis, but I wouldn't have it any other way, to say the least.
Lewis, well, we got our appetizer out of the way. Next time we do this, it's me and you Thursday night. But what'd you think of the night, and what you looking for the rest of the week?
Oh, it was really sad for Piñeiro. Even tried to make a lap. He just go away in the turn 2 by mistake, new tires, and then the whole incident with Guillermo, and then Maleska out, Oster, Brofin, really was a kind of disaster, but we have a good finish result with Clendy. I know he can maybe get it, but always you have to wait it to the end.
Yeah.
When you cannot get more points.
Right.
Until they don't get more points.
Yeah.
You have to wait to the end. It's not it's happened to me when I was with Henry Bennett, and then he coming Demerit, and then coming Piñeiro, and then coming all of these guys on behind to me, tried to catch me in the second place, and just I raced from 1 to 12 weeks, and then he came in the half a race, in the half a season, to catch me very close. So he needs to wait to the end. He needs to be clear. Like I always said, if you have a good good top 5 and top 4, like today, top 2, he just got 300 points. So that's a lot for the championship. So he needs to wait to the end and keep in mind every race is the final race for him. So keep it strong in that. And for the week, well, it's gonna be busy for sure for us. I'm gonna do only the Thursday night because my job, I cannot do it the other one. So that's the main thing I have to. So it's gonna be excited this Thursday. I already mentioned in the ERN channel, and I'm gonna mention today ERN 745, Piñeiro 40 and Forza in the front, Malescan in the back, and it's gonna be 200 laps. It's gonna be really, really good. So let's see what's happening on that race. And for this weekend, well, they need to still looking for more data, and the Pixel set is still around to make more data. So that's gonna be the job for all of these guys. So good luck for everyone for this week. Still Thursday, and ERN channel for the Indy 500 Waters for Peace.
All right, that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium here from Indianapolis, as we're going to get a better camera angle here on our winner, Alexander Russell. Glendy comes home second, extends his points lead. Tanner Richards, T-Rich in third. Join us again next week for round 9, week 9 of season 2 of 2025 of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split presented by Topia Systems. As the teams and drivers head to Iowa for our next to last short track of the season. Coverage begins around 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that's 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. And remember, as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but not easy. Require time and money to produce. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split tees, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page, or you can send us super chats. But the link is in the bottom of is in the description for the GoFundMe page, and to donate to our 2025 broadcast fund. So I realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching. Make us part of your Tuesday evenings each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game's not an easy one, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's race, and if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more P1's other iRacing programming, including, well, it's going to be a Friday night, day-night doubleheader. It's IndyCar Super Doubleheader Friday. Join us for the IIS Top Split at 4 p.m. Eastern, followed by the fixed Indy 500 at 9 p.m. Eastern. Promotional consideration paid for by the following: Topia Systems. Topia Systems is the presenting sponsor of the Tuesday night top split here on P1. Topia is where quality and affordability go full throttle. From custom rigs to powerful pre-builds, Topia delivers top-tier performance without all the sticker shock. Built with premium parts and backed by a team that cares, every system is tuned for gaming greatness. Topia Systems, built right, price right, game on. To learn more, check out their links in the description. Simrap Market is your go-to source for iRacing paint templates and broadcast resources. You want to visit them at simrapmarket.com, and you want to download, customize, and race. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more, like them on Facebook, follow them on X and Instagram. Links in either in the description. Of course, everything you need to do to follow us with P1 is at Linktree. All of our social links are there. Check that out in the description. And for Justin Petshower, LGN, everyone here at P1, I'm Gary Gotzo saying all good night. And thanks for watching, and to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Iowa for the next race of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split on P1. But before then, don't forget IIS 4 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. Then the fixed Indy 500 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Good night.